Hey guys, I'm Alex from 3D Brothers, and in this video I'm going to show you my process of retargeting animations on to a character. I start by exporting the mesh and the skeleton from Maya. I will show you what I have here. So I have the facial rig and the bones of the face are driven by constraints, so I have the rig separated by the skeleton that I use for exporting. I can show you my hierarchy here. So yeah, this is the hierarchy of the skeleton that I will use into Motionbuilder and inside Unreal. And the other two, locator group and lower lip groups, are represented by the rig that is controlled by these objects here. Alright. Another thing that is very important is the orientation of the joints. You see that the character has been modeled a bit with the legs a bit twisted, and it was looking odd when my joints were oriented forward and the legs remained twisted, and it was running quite odd. So make sure you have a good joint orientation and you keep it consistent on your characters. You may reuse the same rig on the characters if you want to share the animations, and yeah, keeping the rig consistent. It's a good way to share animations inside Unreal without retargeting them. Right. Another important aspect is the shoulder bones. Another thing that can vary from one character to another, how you animate the shoulders and how the base pose looks like. Yeah, so that's about it. To export it, I go in hierarchy view, select my root and my mesh, and go on export selected. Rotate spine. If you get this message, let me fix it, because I thought I fixed it, but I'll also show you how to do it. So you go in outliner, short line pose, click this one, and here I have a little command that I will use to create a new bind pose. Maybe because I had to select, I had to save the skins and solve this joint issue last night, and I didn't recreate the bind pose. Or maybe I didn't save, so let's try again. Selection. Alright, the warning is off. What I did, why I'm saying that it's baked the animation at the export presets, I have selected the bake animation, so I only animate the rig inside Maya, and when I export it, it gets baked automatically to the bones that are driven by this rig. So I don't keep the keys inside Maya on these bones, as it's doing some weird stuff. The rig becomes unusable if you have keys on these bones. You need to clean them, and yeah, it's easier this way to bake them at export. So once I got the character exported from Maya, I'm going to open it inside Motionbuilder. Make it one screen. Inside Motionbuilder, the next step is to characterize the character. To add the character on to add the character component on DJ. Alright, but before that I need to make it on a T-pose, and to do that I'm going to begin by selecting the bones. Going to rotate, make sure you are in a global mode, and I select them from the extremity. Let me mask the joints. I select them from extremity up, and I choose the closest division to 90. So if it's 167, you will choose 180, and so on. If it's closer to 0, then you put 0. And this way you'll get a straight T-pose for a character. Alright, do the same thing with the hand. There should be 0. 0, and I need to lift the shoulder bone up, and from my experience around 16 is fine. Then I need to zero out these bones again. That's 180. And you see that I'm doing them in order Z, X, Y. It's because the order of rotation. If you do them in a different order, they might shift when you apply values, and it might shift the value. So that's why I'm doing it like this. So this one should be 164. 180 minus 16. Alright, this looks alright. Fingers, same thing. For this finger is a bit trickier, as it's you cannot make it straight, or usually I don't make it straight. So more or less I eyeball eyeball this bone, then I make the other straight and see how it looks. This will do for now. Same thing for the other hand. I think I'll look into that Python script to make this happen, as I will have multiple characters to do this process on, and it tends to get tedious, I think. To make sure the hands will mirror properly, if you are going to mirror them in the future, it's a good thing to try to copy the exact coordinates you have here. So for the Y, it's with positive -4. Global mode. This looks alright now. I will hold the spacebar and right click on the hips to add a key. Okay, I will change the name of the take into bind. It's actually T-pose. Okay. Have one more look on it. On some skeletons you might want to straighten the spine as well, but mine looks alright, and I'll keep it the same. Okay, once this step is completed, I will go ahead and add a character on the hips. And because I didn't respect it very well, the naming convention, it will do some it will assign some bones that I don't want to those places. So let's go expand to selection, and for the neck I actually want the neck control. I need to exit. Head is the head control. And from what I know, that those are the only issues I have with the naming convention. The rest looks fine, and I can unlock the character again. Okay. The next thing that I have to do is to add the root as a character extension. I do this thing so I can plot the translation on the actual root. Otherwise it will get plotted to the hips of the character if you don't do that. So I drag and drop the root, add character extension, and that's it. Looks very simple, but I won't tell you how long I've been messing up with constraints trying to do this thing. I had to plot it manually for every animation. Now as a character extension, you just plot it as usually, and you have the option to plot character extensions, but I hope you will find this useful if you didn't know it. I hope you will find this useful if you didn't know it. Okay, so DJ, it's mostly done, I think. One more thing that I would like to do is to merge in an arrow for export. I just made a polygon and apply a texture on top of it. That makes it mask. Yeah, it's a texture with an alpha that I use to get the character direction, and to get this following I have to add the root into a position constraint that I created. Alright, so yeah, that should be all. The next thing is to open the Kubold animations. Okay, I have another version of Kubold. I just finished the retargeting the animation pack for male locomotion, and I figured to do a tutorial to show you guys what I've been up to. And I figured to do a tutorial to show you guys my workflow. Okay, tutorial Kubold animes. So open this one. It has a take called bind pose as well. On some packages, I think the one from Unreal or the one from Unreal, on the last frame you'll see a T-pose, but this one doesn't have it. And I noticed that the animation are 30 FPS, which I prefer working with 60 FPS. I'll plot to 60, it won't make any difference. It will add extra keys, but it's not the fidelity of 60 FPS. Anyway, it will do as the locomotions are okay. I think more for the facial stuff you will want to keep a high and yeah, the fast animations also, I think they look better in 60 FPS. Okay, so I need to do the same process for this guy. Need to straighten. I will start with the hands.